As a hitting coach of 15 years, I played in college, played professionally. I worked with a handful of major leaguers. And ultimately, I let the video of the best players in the world guide what is right and wrong. So, like I said, you'll hear a lot of different information about what should and should not happen in the swing. But when you look at the best players in the world, you look at only the video of the best players in the world, you start to have a different framework. It starts to, differentiate itself from what other people are teaching. And I wanted to give you that framework. I used to sell a course on this framework, and I decided to give it away for free because I want to help as many people as possible. So that's what this video is. I'm going to break it down as best I can, and how to use your body to swing a baseball bat, and also help with actually hitting the ball, because they are separate skills, hitting the ball and swinging. But having a good swing allows you to hopefully hit the ball more consistently, square up more balls, keep the bat behind the ball longer, and create more speed with the bat. So, I want to preface this by saying none of this really matters if you don't athletically fit at the level that you're trying to play at. That's a hard thing to tell people, but ultimately the major leagues is a collection of the biggest, fastest, strongest baseball players in the world. Obviously, there are exceptions to that, but if you cannot hit the ball fast enough or throw fast enough or run fast enough to fit at that level, at the same level those major league players are at, ultimately, it's going to be hard for anyone to scout or take a chance on you to give you an opportunity at that level. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. And of course, there's, like I said, exceptions to that. Altuve was cut at his tryout. He wasn't supposed to come back the next day, and he ended up doing it. But you don't want to be the exception. You need to build your body to a place where, again, you fit athletically. So with that said, this video is mostly about, or all about, how to use the body you got and maximize the speed that you can produce. So I guess we're going to start from the ground up, but ultimately both the upper body and lower body affect each other based on what you're trying to do. But let's start with the back foot. I saw a great picture. It showed like roots growing into the ground from the back foot, depicting, you really want to anchor this foot into the ground. And I totally agree. This is the foundation of the swing. Everything works off of here. And one of the first things I do with every hitter that I work with is I do the frisbee drill. I say, hey, throw a frisbee at the pitcher. And pretty much everyone executes a very good baseball swing. They're able to anchor, kind of center the weight over the back leg, turn their body, and then turn and release their energy out in a straight line out at the pitcher, which has a lot of parallels with the swing. When we're young, we're taught to kind of squish the bug, and we don't really want to squish the bug, right? We're not driving off the back leg if I'm spinning my foot, okay? That's a very simplified teach that Little League coaches will use to get players to turn their body. And the goal is to turn the body, but we don't want to do that by spinning the foot. You see, like, spinning my foot doesn't necessarily help me make the bat go fast. I need to anchor this foot and use the ground, right, with my back leg. So my legs can only bend and extend. I want to push that energy into the ground, from down to up, into the ground to send my hips into rotation, right? After that is done, after I drive off the back leg, it can come off the ground or spin after I've driven off the ground. Next, moving on to the front leg. I want to not just brace with the front leg, I also want to accelerate against the ground with the front leg as well. So if you could think of the tracks on a tank, one side's accelerating this way, the other side's accelerating this way in order to cause rotation, right? You can think of a snap of a finger, but basically I'm pushing off of this leg to send my hips around, and I'm also pushing off of this leg. And it gets something like this, okay? Now, a lot of people will see that rotation and think I'm pulling off the ball. As long as I'm able to keep the bat going this way for a long period of time, it won't be pulling off the ball, okay? And again, the constitution I'm working off of, the framework, is only what the best hitters are doing. And the best hitters know how to use the ground the best, okay? So both legs against the ground, sending my body into rotation. Where my weight is and where my head is will dictate what that lower body looks like. So The goal is to keep my head over my back knee the whole time. If I let my head travel forward, okay, that rotation is going to look very different. It's going to look very golfy. And I don't want to finish golfy because we're in a constant battle for space when we hit. That means we want to keep our head away from the ball, making it easier to catch the ball in front of me. If I let my head slide, it's harder to catch the ball up front. And we'll talk about catching the ball up front and why that's beneficial as we move up here. But we got both legs working against the ground, sending my body into rotation. Now, with that said, I do need to be able to let my energy out in a direction. For instance, if I get an outside pitch, I need to kind of let my body stop and my arms keep going towards that outside pitch. So we'll work our way up here. Understand that the swing and hitting are two different skills, but this framework will give you a good guide on what to believe and not believe. There's a lot of contradicting information out there, but we'll work our way up the body here. I used to not care about the grip at all. Now I care about it a lot. If my wrists are apart, as I go to roll my wrist, my barrel is going to kind of pop up over my shoulder line here, and we don't want that. Obviously, we want to hit the ball before our hands roll, but having a better grip with my wrists closer together allows for that roll to happen much smoother and keep the bat in line with my shoulders. And we'll talk about that more as I go on. But we want a good grip with our wrists close together and this triangle shape. So you can see a triangle in my arms. And what I want to do now is wrap this shape around me, okay? This is not a shoulder move necessarily. It's elbow back compared to my back leg. There is such a thing as going too far where I can't see the pitcher. We don't want to do that. We simply want to give our body and the bat room to rotate and create speed before it hits the ball, okay? This will also help me adjust. So as the pitch is coming at me, I don't really know if it's an off-speed pitch or where it's going to end up. The more I commit to my hands going forward, the less I have left to adjust. So we've all seen a breaking ball make someone take a butt out swing. But I want to keep these hands back. So I pull them back, I keep them back, and I want to let my leg drive the swing. The rotation of my hips, pull the bat around the swing, and then my hands are just going to release the bat out from behind my shoulder. So if I do that correctly, my hands didn't even have time. My arms didn't have time to add any kind of speed to the swing. And ultimately, that is the difference. That is the cause of any flaws in the swing, is trying to create speed from the wrong place, right? From the upper body, from the smaller muscles in our body. So we have this shape, we have it wrapped around, and we want to keep that shape. Up until contact, we're going to let the bat release freely out wherever the pitch came from. So I get an inside pitch, my hands are going to release out at the pitcher. If I get an outside pitch, my hands will release more to right field. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. As I'm demonstrating here, please try not to let my beautiful ankles distract you from this high-level communication here. So I got my frame, I'm pulled back, and I want to keep it. From there, I need my shoulders to match the height of the pitch, okay? So I got bat back, rotate, side bend, or tilt to the height of the pitch. That means a high pitch, I'm going to be much more level with the shoulders, and a low pitch, I'll be much more bent over. I find that a lot of people have this idea in their head of what a swing should look like, and that idea has no basis in reality. So if anything I'm saying to you goes against what you normally believe, I want you to question those beliefs and go back and look at the best players in the world, and understand how they get to a low pitch. And understand when I'm teaching this, the goal is not to just hit the ball. The goal is to create hard exit velocities, line drive trajectories on every single pitch and location that you get, okay? So in order to do that on a lower pitch, I need my body to work underneath and out of my head. One of the other frameworks that I want to work off of is simply that the goal should be to create line drives. The optimal launch angle to get a base hit is around 8 degrees. So we want that. Not necessarily hitting the ball on the ground or hitting the ball too high. We simply want to match the angle of the pitch. Ted Williams wrote in his book, to match the angle of the pitch. So if the ball is coming 8 degrees down into the catcher's glove, our barrel needs to work 8 degrees up. Now, it doesn't matter what you have to feel to create that. So if Juan Soto feels that he's chopping at the ball, but his barrel works 8 degrees up, then that's the right feel for him. But you have to understand that not everyone is going to create that attack angle with that feel, right? So some people need to feel like they're swinging 20 degrees uphill in order to create that 8 degrees. There is such a thing as swinging too far down and swinging too far up. But what I want to stress is as long as I keep the bat level with my shoulders and my shoulders are level with ball, I don't have to try to create any kind of trajectory. It will take care of itself on its own. Let me explain that. Even though we're rotating fast, we want the bat to trace the path of the pitch for as long as possible. So I'm letting my arms out straight through the path of that pitch. I don't want my arms coming with me, my upper body rotating away from the ball at all. We're turning back to create speed going forward, okay? And anything you see with my front foot spinning is simply me letting the finish happen freely. If you look at the best hitters, again, this front foot is kind of a piece of contention. The best hitters let this front foot spin. Because their weight's in the right spot, their head stays over the back knee, that front foot releases, okay? So going back to this path, we're working the bat behind the path of the pitch from catcher to pitcher for as long as possible. And where I catch the ball will dictate how high or low it goes and where it goes in the field. So if I catch the ball back here and I'm late, it's going to go to right field and it's probably going to be at a lower trajectory. If I catch it in front of me, it's probably going to left field. And the bat's had time, even though I'm keeping it level with the shoulders, to work a little bit more uphill. So it's probably going to go a little higher. And that's how that works. I don't have to try to lean and create a home run trajectory. To create home run trajectory, all you have to do is catch the ball out front. When you do that, there are advantages to that, which is, first and foremost, the bat has more room to get up to speed, right? So your fastest bat speed is going to happen out in front of you. Secondly, we all hit the ball better to the pull side because, obviously, again, I talked about the speed of the bat, but also that room allows me extra room to line up the bat perfectly. And that's one of the biggest benefits of leaving the hands back. This feel when my hands are behind me, the entire swing, allows me to adjust at all times to the height of the pitch, right, as it's coming at me, and be able to adjust, okay, I recognize curveball, my hands are still back, I can still hit this ball hard, all right? Let's talk about what the hands are doing. So I do not want to be active with my hands at all. That means I don't want to try to push out of this triangle shape. I don't want to push-pull and let my hands drop. I don't want to try to create speed with my arms at all. I also don't want to try to spin the bat in any direction. All I have to do is hold on to the bat and let my body move the bat. Understand the bat is moving with my shoulders and I'm not moving my arms at all. Okay? So this all comes from anchoring this back leg. The only thing that's moving here is my back leg. Okay? My upper body is tilting and turning because of my back leg and wherever I need to take the swing to that ball. But it all starts with the back leg. I'm on it and I let the back leg drive the swing. I know it's supposed to work from the ground up here, but I want to talk about both. I'll be going back and forth. Like I said, the ideas of each affect each other. So there's a lot of talk about get the foot down early, and I want to address that. The back leg should put the front heel down. The back leg puts the front leg early, okay? This is how it works in every great hitter. You will see a variance in how they use the front leg. Some of them are very leg kicky. Because they're coiling back, this front foot comes off the ground. But still, this back leg driving off the ground puts the front foot down. Hopefully that makes sense for everyone. It's the same if I keep my foot down, right? You'll see a lot of hitters who do the no stride. They're turning, you'll see the heel come up. And again, driving off the back leg, driving rotation, puts that front foot down. Okay? Over the years, I have seen the difference in young hitters and better hitters. And one of the biggest things I recognize is the finish. And I remember I did one of my first college workouts. I hit pretty well. And the only feedback the coach had for me was, hey, you stop your finish short. And at the time, I didn't really care. It didn't matter to me. Because like the ball's already gone. Why does that matter? But as I've done this, I noticed that the guys that rotate the best, who use the ground the best, finish the farthest, right? They'll finish with the bat on the ground. They'll finish kind of in this posture. Sometimes the foot releases. You'll see that in Barry Bonds. He's one of the best examples of that. Keeping the weight there, creating space, letting the front foot go. And he's a lefty. He can get away with that a little bit. But that is how we create speed in a baseball swing. With that said, like I said, it doesn't matter unless you physically can fit at the level you're trying to play at. Every natural lifter has about 40 pounds that they can add to their frame. You need to go ahead and do that so that you can be the best that you can be. With that said, I need your help. If you're still around in the video, I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a framework that you can work off of and get rid of all the other stuff. In the baseball world, we're so vague, all the teachings, the stay back, the stay inside, the swing down. These things mean different things to different people, okay? And I hope that what you saw here today, and I'm glad you're here with me today. I'm glad we could work through this together because this framework allows you to get rid of all the other noise that's out there. Like I said, there's from coaches to players, anything you hear about the swing, it all contradicts itself, okay? But if you let the video of the best players in the world guide what you decide to be right and wrong, let that be your constitution, then you'll see that everything I've walked you through today is describing as best I possibly can what's happening in the video. So I appreciate you guys being here. If you're still here with me, I need your help. I need your help to reach more people. Help me blow up on YouTube here. So I'm going to ask a couple things from you. What I want you to do is hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and then what I want you to do is watch the video like 10 times. Rewatch the video over and over again, and share this if it made sense to you. Share this with other people on your team or other coaches or other parents who could learn from everything I brought you today. And I hope this was helpful to you all. This is my life's work. Again, I've been a hitting coach for a long time and decided to put this video together because I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to put this information out there so that people stop being misled and they can avoid all the other noise and all the other teachings that are out there. So I appreciate you all being with me and I wish you the best.